pushing me. Pushing me.
The Fort Worth Herd was created on June 12, 1999 to commemorate a time in history when cattle were driven through Fort Worth along the historic Chisholm Trail. So the city officials and stakeholders in the community decided that longhorns and cowboys should reside in the Fort Worth Stockyards, so the Fort Worth Herd was born. Since then, twice daily at 11:30 and 4 o'clock, cattle have been driven here on East Exchange Avenue at 11:30 and 4 o'clock ever since, to remember a time in history when those beautiful longhorns came through Fort Worth.
Well, this old building was built in 1908. It's home of the world's first indoor rodeo. It was originally owned by the Stockyards company and was built for the livestock shows because they were selling so many cattle in this area. And in the end, 1911, they started doing rodeos. 1917, excuse me, started doing rodeos, and it was the first indoor rodeo.
You think you got it? How about it then? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hey! Yeah! Coming around a high rate of speed. Races team coming up. Hey, taking it out. How about a big hand for it? The Texas Kid. Woo! Steve, that's what I would call true grit right there.
Got a barrel down. Would have been a 14-2-0.
Well, the building now known as Billy Bob's was built in 1910 as an open-air cattle barn, and then in 1936 it was enclosed as a centennial project for the state of Texas. Then, of course, in the 50s, it was a department store that was so large that the stock boys wore roller skates. And in 1981, Billy Bob Barnett opened it as the world's largest honky-tonk. You'll notice that the elevation slopes from the entry down to the stage because when it was built as a cattle barn, it was built so that you could just take a hose and hose out all the leftovers from the cattle. So it's a perfect elevation for concert seating, and since 1981 we've had more than 50,000 bulls bucked in our arena, which was formerly the auction ring, and probably 6,000 artists have taken the stage in our showroom.
Wow.
Glad to meet you, Duke. I tell you, this guy had a restaurant in New York City. He had a pair. You walk in and say, "Oh, welcome to Denny's. Welcome to Denny's." Anyway, they'd go sit down. So one night,
oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
the Livestock Exchange Building in the Fort Worth Stockyards, which is a National Historic District. We are inside the Stockyards Museum, which is operated by the North Fort Worth Historical Society that was founded by Sue and Charlie McCafferty. Inside this museum, you will find artifacts and photographs and documents that tell the history of not only Fort Worth's beginnings, but the Fort Worth Stockyards.
If you want to know who we are, with COWTOWN OPRY from the old Stockyards.
Hey, Kristen. Hi, Kristen. Yeehaw!